Hey man, let me take you back to something I never saw coming. I was watching an interview, a basic celebrity sit down, nothing groundbreaking. But then she walked in, not just any woman, a global superstar, stunning, powerful, a woman who could have any man she wanted just by lifting a finger. And yet, she didn't have to. She didn't need to flirt, she didn't need to talk, she didn't even need to smile. All she did was walk in, and the room bent around her. Men stopped talking mid-sentence. Women went quiet, eyes locked, mouths dried. And me? I leaned forward like I was about to be given the secrets of the universe, because in that moment, without saying a single word, she taught me more about attraction than any book, coach, or video ever had. What she radiated, that was the energy women chase. And from that day, I stopped focusing on pickup lines and started studying what she actually showed me, how to become the one they want without chasing anything at all. She didn't speak, she projected. Her presence was louder than any voice. Her energy didn't ask for attention, it commanded it. And that, brother, is the first key most men miss. You're out here trying to get women with words, with tricks, with jokes, with constant conversation, while the men who win the game often win it in silence. Why? Because silence that's paired with presence is louder than noise. That female star showed me that when your energy is fully rooted, when your body language is relaxed but controlled, when your eye contact is clean but unwavering, you don't have to speak. The room speaks about you. Women lean in, not because you said something, but because they felt something. And what did they feel? They felt certainty. They felt confidence. Not arrogance, not loudness, not attention-seeking behavior, but calm, unapologetic certainty. This woman, this female star, wasn't trying to be liked. She wasn't trying to convince the room she was worthy of their eyes. She already believed it. She already owned it. And that's what most men don't understand. The second you try to prove yourself, you've already lost. The second you need her to see your value, you've placed her above you. But when you sit in your own presence, fully grounded, without a shred of needing to impress, that's the shift. That's the moment a woman starts chasing you. Watching her made me realize something else. She moved slowly, deliberately, no rush, no fidgeting. And that's when it hit me. Speed is insecurity. Most guys talk fast, move fast, look around the room, feel every second of silence. But people who are truly powerful, they move slowly. They know that silence is a tool, not a void. They pause between sentences. They make people wait. And the woman in front of me, she paused longer than most men would be comfortable with. And that's what made her unforgettable. Because in a world that's always in a hurry, slowness radiates control. And control is attractive as hell. She also didn't smile much. That's another lesson. You don't have to perform happiness to be magnetic. Most guys smile too much. They over-emote. They try to win people over with constant cheerfulness. But when she entered, she kept a neutral expression, a slight curve, not a grin, calm eyes, still posture. And that taught me that attraction doesn't come from trying to be liked. It comes from being whole without approval. Women don't chase men who are nice, they chase men who are solid. The smile is a tool, not a crutch. Another thing I noticed, she didn't initiate anything. She let others come to her, but when they did, she responded with grace, but with limits. She answered briefly, held eye contact, and then looked away. She never overshared, never overengaged. And that taught me something deeper than game. It taught me containment. Masculine energy is containment. It doesn't spill, it doesn't overreact, it doesn't broadcast neediness. And when you operate from that place of emotional containment, women chase it because it feels like safety, leadership, mystery, and power all wrapped into one. Here's what most men don't get. Women are not chasing words, they're chasing feelings. They want to feel something around you. And what that female star made me realize is that the strongest feeling you can give a woman is uncertainty mixed with calm strength. Not coldness, but restraint. Not rudeness, but detachment. It's the paradox of masculine attraction. The less you need to say, the more impact you have. Because now she's left wondering. Now she's analyzing. Now she's reading into your body language, your eye contact, your pauses. You're not giving her answers. You're giving her open-ended emotion. That's what pulls her in. When I left that interview, I couldn't stop thinking about how much control she had without lifting a finger, and that's when I flipped the mirror on myself. I thought, am I trying too hard to be understood? Am I filling space because I'm afraid she'll walk away if I don't? The answer was yes. Like most men, I thought attraction was built through engagement, but what she showed me is that real attraction is built through discipline, through being a presence, not a performance. That changed everything, because I stopped showing up to impress and started showing up to observe, to receive, to witness her reaction to my energy, not to chase her attention. You have to understand, feminine energy flows. It fills spaces, but it needs structure to flow into. And when you're always trying to be funny, charming, available, and talkative, you're acting like her. You're mimicking feminine energy. But when you slow down, when you own your silence, when you move with confidence and detachment, you become the structure. You give her something to respond to. You become the grounded energy that lets her feminine open up. And now she's the one chasing your vibe, not your words. So I tried it. I stopped over talking. I stopped walking into a room like I needed to be liked. I stopped leaning in, and suddenly everything shifted. Women started approaching me differently. They spoke first. They leaned forward. They asked the questions. Because my energy said, I'm already full. You can enter, but I'm not reaching. It wasn't arrogance, it was emotional authority. And when a woman feels a man like that, who doesn't need her, who isn't seeking her, who is already validated from within, she becomes curious. And curiosity is the beginning of emotional investment. This female star didn't just teach me how to attract women, she taught me how to stop losing myself chasing them. And that's the deeper lesson, because most men abandon their masculinity the moment they want someone. They lean in, they overthink, they try too hard. But what I saw that day was a masterclass in stillness, in dignity, in grace without desperation. And it woke me up to a new truth. You don't win women by doing, you win by becoming. And when you become that man, the kind of man who doesn't flinch, doesn't chase, doesn't perform, you don't even have to ask. They come to you. I realized that most of what I'd been taught about attraction was backwards. I thought if I made her laugh, she'd like me. If I complimented her, she'd open up. If I told her how different she was, she'd choose me. But the truth? None of that matters if your energy is off. If your energy screams, please like me, she'll never respect you. But if your energy says, I don't need to be liked, I just am, then she can't stop thinking about you. That's the shift. And it starts with how you enter a room, how you breathe, how you carry yourself when no one's watching. And that's the real key. You attract in silence what you lose through noise. The more you talk to convince, the more she tunes you out. But when you're present, when you're comfortable in stillness, when your eyes communicate more than your mouth ever could, that's when she starts leaning in. That's when she chases the mystery. Because now you're felt, not just heard. And women don't fall for logic, they fall for vibration. And your stillness, that's the highest frequency a grounded man can emit. When you become a man of presence, calm, non-reactive, fully grounded, women don't see you as just another option. They start seeing you as the standard. You're not the guy trying to prove anything. You're the guy who makes them want to prove something to you. That shift is subtle, but it changes everything. You go from asking, how can I win her, to watching her think, what does he think of me? And that's when you know you've entered a whole different game. Not because you said the right things, but because your energy said it all, without needing a word. That female star, she wasn't even in a dating context, she was just existing. But her existence, her manner, was magnetic. And that's when it hit me hard. Attraction isn't turned on by flirting. It's always on. You're either living in a way that radiates pull, or you're leaking neediness. And women can feel that before you ever speak. So if you think attraction starts when you approach, you're already behind. It starts the moment you walk into the room. And if your presence is weak, no amount of talking can fix it. But if your presence is strong, silence does the work for you. This also forced me to upgrade how I move physically, because what I saw in her was the power of body language. She didn't fidget, didn't shrink, didn't play small. She owned her space. She took up just enough room to be felt, but not enough to scream for it. That's exactly what you should do as a man. Stand tall, shoulders back, chin level, breathe deeply, move slowly. These small cues tell the world I'm not rushed, I'm not scared, I don't need to prove myself. I already know who I am. And that, my brother, makes a woman's curiosity rise like smoke from a fire. And then there was her eye contact. Controlled, calm, unapologetic. She looked into, not at, and not for long either, just long enough to let someone feel her. Then she broke contact and went still. That pattern, man, it was hypnotic. That rhythm, that charge. And I realized something: eye contact is not about dominance, it's about transmission. It's you projecting calm strength without saying a word. When you stare too long, it's neediness. When you avoid it, it's insecurity. But when you give a clean, composed look with no anxiety behind it, that's power in its purest form. After that moment, I began walking into every room differently, not to get noticed, but to be felt. I stopped walking fast, stopped speaking first, stopped faking enthusiasm, and I started listening more, feeling more, breathing deeper. My energy wasn't loud, but it became undeniable. Women began to engage differently. The ones who ignored me before now asked questions, made eye contact, broke their own frames to match mine. Not because I did anything to impress them, but because I finally stopped giving away my power with words. That's when I realized silence isn't empty, it's magnetic. What most guys don't understand is that women are not logical about attraction. They're emotional, intuitive, energetic. That's why nice guys lose, because they're logical, performative, explainers. But the man who gives her nothing to decode but his presence, he lingers in her thoughts far longer than the man who sends paragraphs. He becomes an emotional puzzle, and women don't forget those. That female star showed me that if you want to live rent-free in her mind, don't tell her who you are. Make her feel it, then disappear. That contrast becomes unforgettable. Let me be honest with you, this wasn't easy at first. Sitting in silence when you're used to performing feels like death. You want to fill the space. Say something clever, keep her interested. But that's the trap. The moment you try to keep her attention, you've already lost your center. And when you lose your center, she loses attraction. What that woman taught me is that presence takes restraint. It's not about saying nothing, it's about saying less with more energy. And if you can master that restraint, you'll never need game again. Another key I learned watching her: she didn't chase validation, she didn't dress to compete, she didn't scan the room for approval, she just was, fully, unapologetically herself. And because of that, people gave her validation without her asking. As a man, the same principle applies. You stop chasing women when you stop chasing approval, and you stop chasing approval when you're rooted in purpose, mission, strength. That stillness radiates an aura, and that aura, brother, is the real pickup line, the one she can't ignore, even if she wants to. You want to pull women without saying anything? Then become the type of man who can sit alone in a crowded room without checking his phone. That right there tells the world, I'm not bored, I'm not nervous, I'm centered. And that kind of energy, it's disruptive, it's magnetic. Because in a society full of digital dopamine addicts, a man who is calm in stillness becomes a mystery. And in her world of endless attention, mystery is rare. Rare things are valued, and valued men don't chase, they pull. So now, I show up different, not to impress, but to express the fullness of my presence. I don't speak to win people, I don't dress to be seen, I don't engage unless I want to. And ironically, that shift has made me more attractive than ever. Not because I changed who I was, but because I removed all the noise covering up who I've always been. That female star didn't teach me a line. She taught me an energy, one that makes women lean in, even when you don't say a word. You can't fake this. You can't wear it like an outfit. You have to become it. And that requires inner work, discipline, quiet time, solitude, learning how to hold your center in the chaos. It's not sexy, but the result is pure fire. Because when you radiate a grounded masculine energy, women notice you before you ever speak. You become the question they can't answer, the silence that says more than noise. And once you've tasted that kind of presence, you'll never go back to chasing again. So here's what I'll leave you with. If you want women to feel you without a word, stop trying to be noticed. Start becoming undeniable. Build your presence in silence, move with purpose, speak with calm, let your eyes say everything your mouth doesn't. And above all, let her feel that you're good with or without her attention. Because that, brother, is the greatest game on earth. The one where you don't chase, you don't explain, and you don't perform. You just exist fully, like that female star. And when you master that, women will come to you, drawn in by the one thing they can't resist: power without words.